Well, today's story is about a massive embarrassment which has cost us quite a bit of money, and no, I am not talking about Keir Starmer. Although let's face it, he'd make a pretty good advert for condoms, wouldn't he? But either way, it seems the more time goes on, the more that cars and other vehicles seem to be classed as the lowest priority of the road, even of course they mainly use it, and pedestrians are what they use, these things called pavements. But what am I going on about then? Well, according to this, the article says that the £2.3 million UK roundabout was forced to close a week after it opened. But why is that? I mean, it's just a roundabout, isn't it? Just look at this picture. Yep, this is the roundabout, and it looks quite safe, doesn't it? With all the zebra crossings, unless, of course, you're in a car, in which case you're bound to have to stop every 2 minutes and therefore create a massive traffic jam, or maybe 1 or 2 accidents, eh? And no doubt is surely a massive nightmare. The ambitious roundabout, it says, was forced to close just 10 days after it opened following a tragic incident. The scheme was branded a landmark build with the UK's first Dutch-style roundabout, or mental roundabout in my opinion, that was put into place in Fenton Road in Cambridge, and the new layout was revolutionary apparently in that it gave priority to pedestrians with zebra crossings at every approach road. So no doubt they were erring on caution, forgetting presumably that there have been roundabouts with traffic lights on them, which might have been a better way to do it in my opinion, where when your traffic light is red, that is when the pedestrian green light goes. But no, they went through this style where the pedestrian goes, I will cross when I choose. Along with, of course, the mental changes, in my opinion, to the highway code back in, what was it, January 2022, 2023, something like that. Where, if I remember correctly, pedestrians, if they're going at a slow speed, can just, walk in front of your car. As apparently in that case, they have priority over the road rather than you, from what I've heard. But anyway, cyclists, though, they weren't left out. Well, there's no surprise there, is there, eh? They were given their own outer ring, surprise me it's not an inner ring, away from cars that were positioned in the centre circle. And according to Cambridgeshire County Council, residents generally supported the idea of a Dutch-style roundabout before, there's the crucial word, isn't it, but before it was introduced. And a public consultation on the idea received 647 responses, with 433 individuals, or cyclists as they're otherwise probably known as, supporting the idea, with just 115 people against the plan, who no doubt drove cars or other vehicles. However, it didn't stop incidents. Well, there's a surprise, with a driver slamming into a zebra crossing beacon in early August, just 10 days after it opened, and the hit-and-run incident had left the bollard damaged, with the roundabout closed for 3 days while teams undertook repairs, and fortunately it was just a bollard. However, what if that was a person, or maybe a child, if they just run across the zebra crossing? And yes, obviously us drivers should be paying attention, especially at roundabouts. But you always do get the impatient bellend, don't you, who just wants to get through there as quickly as possible. And admittedly, yes, not everything should be designed for those bellends, but either way, I do think they could have not given full priority to the pedestrians and cyclists, and gone with a pedestrian crossing traffic light system, whatever you want to call it, I said earlier. But that's not it, because apparently there have been lots of other incidents. It says that information revealed that there had been 10 shunts between 2020 and 2023, and at least 8 of those incidents had involved cyclists. Well, let's face it, I suppose they would have a bit of trouble using the red light system, because, I don't know about you, but when have you ever seen a cyclist stop at a red light? Guess they must be colourblind as well as having a penis attached to their heads. But anyway, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to talk about all cyclists, just those who often seem to cut people up while wearing something like lycra. The other 2, though, had been collisions between pedestrians and motorists. So what about the system that were placed in? Surely this will be a much safer system, right? Well, apparently no. The previous roundabout axed in favour of this new Dutch-style mental roundabout saw just six minor incidents between 2017 and 2019. But what are they all said about it then? Well, last year Alex Beckett, the chairman of the Cambridgeshire County Council's Highways and Transport Committee, admitted that the route had undergone 3 safety audits since it was built, and he commented, and get this, "We have carried out regular safety audits and recently commissioned a study to look at the nature of the incidents, which will help inform any changes that we might wish to make to this roundabout or any future roundabouts with similar design characteristics." Well, I don't know about you, it just makes me wonder if this study involved crash test dummies. However, for the rest of us, it is unfortunately not the last the UK has seen of these Dutch-style mental roundabouts, with a second just installed in Sheffield. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the last time I went to Norwich, there was one at, what was it, Heartsease roundabout, which when I was crossing it, I was thinking, what a stupid roundabout. But the Sheffield one, though, their new one has been fitted in the West Bar area of Sheffield, but locals have already raised concerns. There's no surprise there, is there? Perhaps councils would do much better if they remove their heads from their bums and actually listen to the local people instead of potentially trying to impress someone like Keir Starmer. There is a worry for many that the measure would cause confusion and may lead to near miss or bumps, and unfortunately it does seem that we may see a lot of Mr. Bump walking about, especially of course if he uses one of these roundabouts, eh?